Hello and welcome to my channel Learn English with Avijit. Today I will tell a story of Bankubabu's friend by Satyajit Ray. I will explain the story in detail. I think after listening to the story you will understand and enjoy it. First I will tell about Satyajit Ray. He was a writer, a painter, a filmmaker, a editor and a musician also, music composer also. Satyajit Ray created two wonderful films for children and for the adult ones also. One is Gopika and Bhagavan, and another is Hirokraya Desi. Hirokraya Desi and Gopika and Bhagavan both told the stories of two simple men, but inherently it had also given a very good political message, which was not only important for that time also, but the stories inherently have a message which are important and relevant for the all ages to come. As for example, when I was a young child, I enjoyed Gopika and Bhagavan and Hirokraya Deshe, as well as I am enjoying Hirokraya Deshe and Gopika and Bhagavan at now my age also. And I am assured and I can assure you that a man of old age, he is also at the same time the story of Hirokraya Deshe and Gopika, and such is the inherent message as well as covered by the comic sense of Mr. Roy. So when Mr. Satyajit Ray has written something for the children, I will first tell you that please enjoy the story and please try to understand the inherent message of it. In Bankubabu's friend, Satyajit Ray starts with these few lines. No one had ever seen Bankubabu get cross. To tell the truth, it was difficult to imagine what he might say or do if one day he did not get angry. Bankubabu had not even one day that he did not have a chance to get angry. It was not that he did not have any reason not to get angry, because his students, his friends in the village, they always had a prank on him and did not take Bankubabu seriously. What was Bankubabu? Who was Bankubabu? Bankubabu was a village teacher of Kankugachi Primary School. He was a teacher of geography and Bengali. Actually, he liked his students at school. So, in every batch which goes by and the new batch comes, but the students had never changed their mind on Bankubabu. So, they made cartoons on Bankubabu on the blackboard. They split glue on the chair of the Bankubabu. Sometimes they made cracking lighting on Bankubabu in the Kali Puja also. But through one words, we can understand actually the personality and attitude of Bankubabu. The words of shame on you guys. Though the guys and the boys of students at schools, they never had given a good respect to Bankubabu, but he was never angry to them. He simply had the three simple words: shame on you guys. That means that creates the personality or attitude of Bankubabu as a teacher. He loved his students. He used to love to teach his students at schools geography and Bengali, but he also loved them to teach stories of Pirhans, the carnivores at Brazil, stories of North Pole, and he also have very good interest on the story of satellites, spacecraft, etc. Bankubabu had a place to go in the weekend, and that is the house of Sripothi Mojumdar's house. Who was Sripothi Mojumdar? Sripothi Mojumdar was a village lawyer. People at that day, in the weekend, especially on Sunday, they used to go in a village house. In every village we had a house to go for the people at that time. They had a little chat at the Boitok Khana, the Boitoki Mejaj. It's a Bengali culture. They used to gossip with each other. They had a tea, they had some few snacks, they enjoyed their weekend there, and then they had after the weekends over, they started their job, and again in the next weekend they thronged in some people used to throng in somebody's boitakkhana. So Bonku Babu's friend here, one of the friend is Sripati Babu, was a very important man that village. We come across Sripati Babu and his other friends. The name of the story is, the title of the story is Bankubabu's Friend by Satyajit Ray. Were the friends at the village were really friends, in real sense friends with Bankubabu? That we will know throughout the story. Bankubabu had to come to these meetings. If he did not, what would Sripati Babu think? Not only was he a very important man in the second school committee and the village, but he could not do without Bankubabu, who could provide amusement to all. So, Bankubabu was a man of amusement to all of his friends in the village and in the adda of Sripati Babu's house. In one of his addas, they were gossiping about ghosts, a very familiar topic, even today also. When we go for gossip, we would have a very important topic of gossiping is about ghosts. So in one of his addas, they are telling or creating stories about ghosts. But Bankubabu was not certainly a believer of ghosts. So he protested in his one way. And to teach him, they made when Bankubabu was coming home through the village road, and Bankubabu did not ever take a lantern or a torch in his hand, because he knew the village paths and he was coming. And to frighten Bankubabu, one of the friend from a village tree, he jumped on the neck of Bankubabu and smeared black ink on him. But Bankubabu was not frightened. He was injured. In the next week also, he joined his friends at Sripati Babu's house. In each weekend, they made different stories about different things. And in a week, they were talking about spaceship, they were talking about satellite, they were actually trying to talk about the aliens, where many of his other friends like Chondi Babu wrinkled his nose. A rocket? Why? What good is a rocket? Alright, if one was made here in our country, took off from the Maidan of Calcutta, and we could go and buy tickets to watch the show, well then, that would be nice. But so Chondi Babu, who was also a very simple village guy, but he never believed, or perhaps could believe, the existence of rocket and satellite in the sky. So what all they are doing, they are amusing with Bankubabu, they are amusing with the thoughts and the knowledge with Bankubabu, they are mocking with Bankubabu's ideas. Everything they did was to make a fun of Bankubabu. Avijit Chakraborty used to have a very hard slap on Bankubabu's back. The slap was so hard that Bankubabu was nearly taken aback by the slap. So what would they do? They made all make it for the amusement of their own, not to greet Bankubabu well. They did not give Bankubabu a good respect. But who was Bankubabu? Bankubabu was a very calm and quiet man. His attitude was very good. But in one way, he was a meek and mild man. He respected his friends. He gave ample time to his students. Why Bankubabu was in the school, even though the students pranked him? Because he was a very poor village person. He was a teacher of middle age. He could not leave his profession in the middle of his age, because he knew that at that his age, after leaving the school, he would not get another job for his living. And in the school also, it's very important to note that he loved his students. Even though he knew that the other students were not a very serious audience of him, but he would love to have a very few students in each class who loved him, who were listening him, who was a very good students for him. So Bankubabu at the time space, he would call his students at his house and he would tell them stories about the world, the stories about the Pinans and Brazil, the stories about the North Pole, the stories of North Pole, the stories of Pinans of Brazil, the stories of the world. So Bankubabu was a very kind man. He used to teach others. He used to teach his students. He would like to know his students interested about the world. So though he did not get respect from his many of his students at school, but he was a very good serious teacher who loved his students. At the same time, he used to go at the adda of Satyajit Babu's chamber in the village house. Though he knew that the people make him an object of amusement, people was not serious. His friends actually not his friends. By Satyajit Ray's stories, we could understand that. So one day, when they are telling about making a story about ghost, when Bankubabu objected him, they used to teach him a lesson in the village path by jumping on his neck. At the same time, when Bankubabu was telling one day, they were gossiping about the spaceship and the spacecraft and the satellite, the same way they criticized the ideas of Bankubabu. They not only criticized him, they also told him that, by the way, that one day if aliens comes from the other world, they would take Bankubabu with them. They would put him in the museum. They would put him in the zoo also. So that way they mocked very seriously or very badly about Bankubabu. But Bankubabu in his mind, he knew that the people like Chondi Babu, that people like Avijit Chakraborty, and the man like Sipati also, that they were the real objects who were to be kept in zoo or museum because of their behavior, because of their not serious interest on having or not having a good knowledge about the world, science, history, and anything which was very important to learn. The people of that village, they were not interested to learn those things. And one day, the observation of Bankubabu's was also very important, that when he was coming to home from Satyajit Babu's house one day, he listened, he could understand that on that night it was an eerie feeling. There was no sound of cricket, or there was no sound of their chirping around him. Then in one of the corner on the pond of I will get his name, on the pond of one village person, and in the nearest of his bamboo grove, he could see a glass bowl on upside down, and there was a radiant pink light which was glowing throughout the whole area. And Bankubabu was very amazed to see the light in the village path. He went near and he had got the sound of an unknown person who was actually not speaking English. He was asking in other words. He was actually asking the words. He was actually speaking in a language which was to be used in Pluto, and the name of the man was Ang. So Ang made final communication with Bankubabu. He asked him many things. Ang actually was able to read human thoughts. Ang was from another planet, and Ang had that spacecraft which had wrongly come to the Earth on his way to the another planet. And through his words or through his statements, what Ang told Bankubabu, that the people or the creatures from Ang's planet was much superior from the human beings of Earth. That the Ang he gave Bankubabu actually a piece of thing which is like a very high technological equipment. Through that, Bankubabu could see the piranhas in the Brazil. Bankubabu could see the North Pole. He could see the clear snow, the bears who are playing with each other. Bankubabu could see the crocodile who was banking in the sunlight. He could see, even Bankubabu could listen or the splash sound when the crocodile jumped on the pond. He could see the piranhas, and through that, Bankubabu understood that the Ang is from a very developed planet, though it's not from Earth. And through his other statements, Pang told that, oh, I have delayed one day, because Pang could visit from Mars to Jupiter by one day, we understand. And when Ang was trying to visit another planet, he wrongly jumped today in the Earth, because it was a technical, actually it's a technical mistake, actually it's a problem of his vehicle, that he could wrongly, and on that day he could wrongly land it in the village of Kakugachi. And it was a very interesting communication, it was a very interesting meeting, and that set the tone of the story. Because Bankubabu, you will understand, was speaking a very simple way with Ang, and Ang was also very interested about Bankubabu, so he could help Ang. So Ang quickly understood the thoughts and minds and attitudes and personalities of Bankubabu's. Ang was Ang actually was very interested about Bankubabu's, and after speaking with Bankubabu, after conversing with Bankubabu, Ang was sure that Bankubabu was very meek and mild gentleman. He made a very good friendship with Bankubabu, so he at last asked Bankubabu not to be meek and mild. He told him that you are a very good person, you are a very good personality, but you have one fault, that you are meek and mild. So it was a lesson for Bankubabu. Though he understood, though he treated the people of the Kakugachi village who used to visit with him Sripati Babu's house as friends. But are they friends really? No, they are not real friends of Bankubabu. So who became a real friend of Bankubabu? And who came from another planet, an unknown planet, and had a chat with Bankubabu a very few times, for a very simple few times. But Ang, through his superiority, could understand the thoughts and feelings of Bankubabu. So he made a very good friendship with Bankubabu within a very few minutes. And Bankubabu had also understood that Ang was not a very simple man, because Ang, at his age, actually Ang was in the age of 833 years old, I think, and Bankubabu was in a middle-aged person of 50 years. So through his technology and through their nature of living, the people of the creatures like Ang were living for a very long years, which we, being human beings of Earth, cannot imagine also. So the creatures or the creatures like Ang, who are from other planets, and describe that we are more superior to the human beings of Earth. They had a superior technology, and they have also superior minds from human beings. When Ang said that we have stopped taking animal flesh from very long years, it can be understand that they are a very changed and well-behaved human creature, that they have stopped taking the flesh of others. When I said that if we were like before, I would take your flesh also, Bankubabu's flesh also. But Bankubabu, who is very thoughtful about Aang's mindset, he had understood, Bankubabu had understood that the creatures of this planet are very superior in their, not only in their technology, but their attitude, their personalities, their behaviors also. They are much superior to the human beings, from the human beings of Earth. And from that day, after meeting Aang in that bamboo grove, nearby bamboo grove pond, Bankubabu also will change, because after that day, Bankubabu could understand that we, being the human beings of this earth, are not much superior, and it is our self-thought that we are all in this whole space. After meeting Aang, Bankubabu could understand there are some other creatures in this space who could be much superior, who could have much superior technology from the human beings of Earth, who could have gone from one place, one planet to another in a very short time span. In one day, they could travel from Mars to Jupiter, from Jupiter to Earth. So their sound system, their technology of sound, their technology of viewing other planets, all are very superior. So after that, Bankubabu was changed wholly. So when in the weekend he visited Sripati Babu's house, he was a changed man. When the friends actually were not friends of Bankubabu, they were waiting for Bankum to come and join their meeting. They suddenly, Sripati Babu found that Banku was late, and when Sripati Babu instructed one of his Boitoki friend to go, Ramkanai Babu, Sripati Babu instructed Ramkanai to go and bring Banku to join his party. They suddenly saw a changed man, Bankum, at their doorstep. When Bankubabu entered that Atta that day, he was a changed person. His voice, his attitude, his personality, all changed throughout. And what Bankubabu said then in the last para, it was very important. When he could finally stop, he cleared his throat and began speaking. Friends, so we can understand through his exclamatory sound, friends. Actually, Bankubabu could understand that he understood that they are not real friends to Bankubabu. I have great reason in telling you that this is the last time you will see me at your meetings, and that this is the last day that Bankubabu is meeting them in that Boituke Adda, because before that day he had a majestic experience. He could understand, he had the experience which he knows, Bankubabu knows, is the thing which he had a little idea before his friends, illiterate, less knowledgeable friends at this Adda. The only reason I am only here today is simply that I would like to tell you a few truths before I go. Number one, this is for all of you. You all speak a great deal of absolute rubbish. Only idiots talk of things they don't know anything about. So Bankubabu is clearly pointing out. He is clearly pointing the negative thoughts or the negative behavior of his friends. That while you are talking about rubbish, and the more rubbish is the things that if we don't know about anything, we have to make a force comment on that. That is a more serious foolishness. Number two, this is for Chandi Babu. At your age, hiding other people's shoes and umbrellas is not your just childish, but totally stupid and wrong. It's also a cracking humor of Chandi Babu. He used to have hide the umbrellas and chotis or shoes of Bankubabu. And it's not only childish, it's a stupidity behavior. So he actually Bankubabu is instructing Chandi. What is he instructing? Kindly return my umbrella and brown canvas shoes to my house tomorrow. So I am telling you to take my umbrellas and shoes and to return it to my house tomorrow. Nidhu Babu, if you call me Bankum, I will call you Nitwit, and you must learn to live with that. So if you, Nidhu Babu, what is Bankubabu is showing, is trying to tell him that if you do not understand, if you don't have the reason to respect me, I also don't have the reason to respect you also. And Sripati Babu, the leader and the important man of all that art, if you are an important man, of course you must have chamchas, psycho fans. But let me tell you, from today you can count me out. So Sripati Babu is also thronged by chamchas of the village people. Every important man, they take the amusement, they take the chance of the chamchas around him, who supports him in his good things and in his bad things also. Because for them, it is not, they are not actually courageous. The chamchas always try to compliment and praise the important man of the village. They don't have the courage to find out the faults or the loopholes of the important person. If you like, I can send my cat to you. It's quite good for licking feet. Then Bankubabu saying that he would send his pet cat to Sripati Babu's house to lick his feet, because licking feet is a behavior by animal. It's not a good behavior or a practice behavior of real human being. And you were here as well, Pancho Babu. Let me inform you and everyone else that last night an ang arrived from planet Cranius and landed on the pond on your bamboo grove. We had a long chat. The ang was most amiable. What he is saying to Pancho Babu, that ang actually came near the land of your bamboo grove. And what he is saying, Pancho Babu, that we had a long chat. That man, when he said that man, and then suddenly Bankubabu changed the phrase. No, sorry, Ang, because Ang was not man. We are man from the earth. Ang was a much superior creature than man. So he used the word sorry. Bankubabu finished his speech and slapped Avijit Chakraborty's back so hard that he choked. Then he made his exit, striding out with a bounce and whistle, his eyes sparkling, his head held dry. So from that day, Bankubabu held his head high. We have all to understand that we have to give respect to each and every human being of our society. We cannot mock, we cannot joke, we cannot make pranks with other sentiments. Because when we mock others, when we prank with others, his attitude, it is his soul which is badly hurt by our amusement, by our behavior. If we want to be friends, so our friends, who are friends? Friend has we have to understand that Ang is a friend. Though Ang is from other planet, he can understand the thoughts and feelings of Bankubabu. So like us, if we want to be friends with each other, which we claim always that we are friends, we have to be a man like Ang, who understand and who try to understand the feelings and thoughts of his friend Bankubabu. Though he had a very little chat, though Ang was from other planet and Bankubabu was from Earth. Though Ang did not know Bankubabu from before, though Ang was very knowledgeable, had a knowledge of hundreds of languages, and Bankubabu knew only three. Though Bankubabu had only little idea of space, satellite, spaceship, and geography and Bengali, and did not ever land, even the land after Bengal also. Bankubabu even had the opportunity to have a good journey of Bengal. He did not see even the Darjeeling, the Himalayas, Sundarbans of West Bengal. While Ang had a very good journey from Mars to Jupiter to the Earth to the other planets. Though Ang had a very good handy scientific knowledge, he had a engineering knowledge of spacecraft, because he used to handle the spacecraft, the satellite. So we can understand that he was a very educated man of good knowledge of science. But Bankubabu was a very simple, poor teacher of geography and Bengal in a village primary school. But it made no conflict, or it made no hindrance from being and to be a friend, a good friend of Bankubabu. So what we understand that from that to be a good friend, the knowledge, the knowledge about science, the knowledge of, or the education, or the class, the creed, the social difference, the difference of your place is not a matter. What does matter is your feelings and thoughts. Though Ang was from a very far away planet, though Ang was very superior in education, in technological knowledge, in science from Bankubabu, but at his heart he could understand the feelings and thoughts of Bankubabu. He could read the thoughts of Bankubabu, his new friend. He could understand that Bankubabu was a very genuine, honest character whose only problem was his meek and mildness, which was the reason of his failure in the society. So, being meek and mild is not always taken well by the others. So, even if you are very good, you are well educated, you are a very loving person, you are a good teacher, you are a good professional, one thing you have to understand that you cannot be just only meek and mild. You have to protest. Even if you think them to be your friends, you have to protest for a wrongdoing. You have to make your presence felt by others. You have to make your importance felt by others, so that everyone, just by mocking or pranking on you, they do not make you a thing for your amusement. You will have enough respect for your friends. You will understand as your friends? The people who will value you at the same way as your friends. So friends in in Bankubabu's friend, we understand that friends are not just only a phrase. Friends means a lot, and just the pronouncing a word friend is not all. A friend has to be very the friends has to be very honest about another friend. He cannot, one friend cannot make his own friend an object of amusement. A friend should have respect for others, for other friend. And if we only really want to grow our friendship, we have to grow by together, by ourselves. And that students of primary schools, when they will grow up, The students who does not give respect to a person who is loving, they will be people like Nidhu Babu, they will be people like Chondi Babu, they will be people like Avijit Chakraborty, they will be growing up. And the very few students who used to have a good respect, whom Bankubabu called in his own home. He used to teach him lovingly about the world history, world science. Where the students who will grow up and be like Bankubabu, a genuine, honest person. Only with the exception of meek and mildness, so we can be a good human being when we will be having our own real friends in real sense. With that, I think that Bankubabu's strength, inherent meaning is understood by all of you. Thank you.